Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm Platter V, Series V's I would do for the while. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. The weather is a little bit shitty for me personally. It's a little bit too warm and humid. But hopefully this next item that I'm going to review will get me back in the fall spirit of things. But anyway, folks, super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammer on about it. Whilst I'm doing that, I'm inside the truck. Whilst I'm doing all that shit, I'm also wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I like to highlight the super cool shirt. Call me crazy. What super cool shirt am I wearing today? Well, you can kind of read it, but boom, it's my Mia X Alley shirt. What the fuck is Mia X Alley? Mia is Mia Asano, and Alley is Alley the Piper. They are a pair of musicians who have prominently gained a lot of their exposure through YouTube and like online means and stuff like that, who have now really both just have really both gone over there and, you know, just kind of achieved greater and greater prominence through that. And also, you know, earlier this year, they went over there and they decided to go out on a physical tour. And I was super stoked. I'm a big fan of Mia Asano. I actually wasn't familiar very much with Alley the Piper at that time, but they decided to go on tour together as Mia X Alley, and it was fucking phenomenal. Like, everything about it. Mia was great. Alley was great. Their backing band was great. It was really, really fucking good. I love the entire experience. It was one of those things where it's like, I've been to a lot of shows. I think you know I've been to a lot of shows. But it really was one of those things where it was like, you know, sometimes you go to a show and sometimes you go to an experience. And this was one of those ones where this was an experience. This was one where I was talking about it for fucking weeks afterwards. Because, like, it was really fucking good. If you want a, you know, just glimpse into that experience, I actually have a bunch of videos I took of their performance. They're on this channel, just in case you're interested. But anyway, fuck am I trying for you? Why is it fall related? Blah, 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 blah. Well, folks, it's, boom, Little Debbie pumpkin spice rolls. Look at them. Look at the pumpkin. Look at it. So, yeah, obviously, this is the name pumpkin. Oh, it has a fun facts. The name pumpkin comes from the Greek word pepo, meaning large melon. Interesting, I didn't know that. Pumpkins are a fruit. They contain seeds, but when it comes to cooking, they're often referred to as vegetables. Yes. The largest pumpkin recorded was in 2021 and weighed in at 2,702.9 pounds. Very final one. I wonder if that was I wonder if that pumpkin was grown by the one guy, the one former guitarist of damn it, I can't think of the band off top. Faith No More, because I know he makes like giant pumpkins. Over 1.5 billion pounds of pumpkin are produced in the U.S. every year. So anyway, yeah, we're firmly in, you know, we're not quite actually in fall, but they're rolling out the fall stuff. And I figured, what the fuck, man. I haven't done anything from Little Debbie in a while. I think maybe the only thing I've ever done from them was the Banana Twins video I did, and that was like my second or third. And they don't make Banana Twins anymore, sadly. So let's try out some pumpkin spice rolls. I know some people don't like the pumpkin spice, but I enjoy it. Not all the time, but every now and again. So it looks like this. Oh god, the fucking sun. I hate the sun so much. Looks like this. It's a little, you know, basically one of their Swiss rolls. Let's open it up. Give it a go. I like Little Debbie. Maybe not as much as Hostess, but, you know, it depends on the item. Item to item, I think. Got a lot of cream in there. I hate the sun so much. I mean, that's properly good. I mean, it's the same basic, you know, thing of as a Swiss roll. You got, like, the different things, and then you got the cream inside. The cream is really nice. Like, it's very fluffy. You know, sometimes you get, you know, depending on, not necessarily from Little Debbie, but depending on, you know, the snack brand, some of the creams are a little bit denser. But this one, it's very nice and light. And that's important in this instance because it has a pumpkin spice flavor, which is nice. I like it. But you want it to offset. You don't want just a mouthful of pumpkin spice. You want those contrasting flavors, the spice with the sweet. And yeah, and I think that they actually did a really good job of like pretty much perfectly nailing that ratio, because I think if they'd done less cream, I think the pumpkin spice would have been a little bit overbearing. But as it is, the cream really carries through for most of the experience, and it's really kind of only at the end where it drops off and the pumpkin spice, sort of gets to stand alone a little bit. But by that point in time, it's, nearing the end of its run, on your taste buds. So it's, a nice little way to end the whole thing. I don't have any grievance with it. It's nice, it's soft. It's got the pumpkin spice flavor, the cream is nice. I mean, really about the only thing when it comes to like the Hostess and, the little snack cake stuff that you're sort of looking for typically as like a big criticism is like, does it have like a chemically taste? Is it... I'll say this. Do I think that these taste natural? No. Definitely not. I'm sure they're filled to the fucking brim with preservatives and shit. But they're not, it's not like an egregious chemical taste or anything like that. It's, there might be a little bit of an aftertaste, but that could honestly just be the pumpkin spice, like, because it's not terrible or anything, it just definitely sort of lingers a little bit on your palate. But no, I mean, these are good, man. I think, like I said, I think they have the right ratios. I think the pumpkin spice flavor is nice. I really don't have any big issue. Like, the aftertaste aspect is, it's not my favorite part of the experience, but at the same time, I wouldn't regard it as outright terrible. It's like nothing that... I don't think if I was going out of my way to look for it, it would really bother me. I'm just, mentioning it because it's part of the review. But... 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yeah, and yeah. Yeah, I think I would get these again. They're a fall item, so obviously they're only going to be around for a certain amount of time. There's a million billion pumpkin spice things now. It's almost become a joke in and of itself. But I mean, some are definitely better than others, and I think these are pretty solid as far as a pumpkin spice outing goes. They're tasty. They do what they need to do. And I like them. So I could see getting them again before they fade out, once the fall is over. And if I'm recommending them to people, I mean, it always comes down to the same stuff with pumpkin spice. If you're not into pumpkin spice, clearly it's not going to be for you. That just is what it is. But I think if you're somebody who already enjoys pumpkin spice, well, there's really no reason to not give them a shot anyway. But even beyond that, if you're more casual about it, you just see it in a store, they're good. And I don't feel like the pumpkin spice aspect is too abrasive. The cream is still coming through really nicely. I think they work really well. It's just, a fun little fall snack. But anyway, yeah, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of much stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly pumpkin spice-tastic rest of your life. Yeah, I know some people would not be a fan of that existence. And that's fair enough. I mean... Pumpkin spice is popular, but it's also very divisive. But you know what? At the same time, though, that's not a bad thing entirely. Because, it's great to be loved. It's great to be popular, obviously. But in my life, I've personally, in dealing with people and dealing with products and stuff, I find it very rare that things that are almost universally loved, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, I've found it very rare that things that are almost universally loved live up to the expectation. I usually find them to be very, that there's points of contention that maybe aren't being expressed. Just in my opinion. But I'm a fucking huge contrarian, to be fair. So I think it's good to have some contrast. You shouldn't... If everybody fucking loves you, You're either doing everything right or you're not doing everything right and you're just bullshitting your way through it. I don't know. It's a weird fucking lesson to learn, the more you know. Where was I going with this shit? Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world as high as possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole, especially when you're expecting a nice fall day and it's shitty and sunny and fucking way too warm. And I know that some of you folks are over there. You're like, Brandon, you're nuts, man. It's wonderful. No, maybe it is for you, not for me. I don't like the fucking sun. I don't like the goddamn heat. It's not my thing, man. I'm a fucking cold weather type of person. But where was I going with that? I keep losing my train of thought. But it's important when we run into situations in our life, regardless of the sun and the heat, when we run into situations that are stressful, frustrating, etc., take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're a big fan of the pumpkin spice stuff, right? Maybe you're Pumpkin Spice McGee, who's, just the king of all the pumpkin spice stuff, and you're just like, I decree that everything will be pumpkin spiced in my land. And realistically, you're probably just a crazy person. Not because you like pumpkin spice, but like if you think that you have any type of actual, regional powers and stuff. And if that's the case, well, I mean, it could range from being just a bit of fun to like, hey, maybe we ought to get Pumpkin Spice McGee some professional help. And, maybe you get, and hey, joking aside, if you're in a situation where you actually need some sort of assistance in that regard, please take that shit seriously. Reach out. I'm not going to say that it's definitely not a perfect system. It's a broken ass system, if we're entirely honest. I've gotten into big fucking arguments with people about that shit. But, there are resources available. Sometimes they're not the easiest to access the way they should be, but, if you are struggling in any regards, please make that effort, in one way or another, talk to people, what have you. I wasn't intending for this to get really deep at the end, but it kind of rolled into that category. And whenever, especially when it comes to mental health stuff, it's such a critical thing. And, I know for myself, I've had, issues with my mental health, during stressful times in my life. And, plenty of people in my life have their own issues. So, yeah, I guess that's how I'm going to end this. Something, Pumpkin Spice McGee gets better and goes over there and, marries his one true love and something, adventure time? Yeah, we're going to go with that. Bye.